Alrighty, we're live for the second time. Hopefully the audio will still work this time and not mess up. What's going on, Tommy?
Hey Dee, how are you again? Things happen.
Hopefully we're good.
Okay.
All right, so let's just get into it this time. So tell me a little bit more. I know we kind of connected. I think it was through ClickFunnels, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So give me a little bit of backstory of kind of like what it is that you're doing. I know it's based around mindset and different things. Tell me a little bit more about what it is exactly that you're doing.
Like I focusing a lot in mindset on helping people remove whatever is holding them back. What happens is I've been studying this for over 10 years now, and I have my own company. I started 17 years my own business, not with coaching, with another thing. And in 2001, 2002, no, sorry, 2008, 2007, 2008, I was about to close it. I was fed up. I was struggling. I couldn't grow much. I just got into a flat part, and
What type of company was it?
I still have it. It's a training facility. We offer emergency care training.
Oh, okay.
So for years it was just up and down, but it wasn't growing too much, and I was fed up a bit. And it was then when I hired my mentor coach, I started working with her, and she started teaching me all of the things that I do right now. And my business just skyrocketed in 2009. It started going up, and up. And a couple of years ago, we started making 7 figures a year. Last year, we went multiple 7 figures. It's another country, but it's still, for our economy and everything, it's a lot of money for us. So I realized that it was mostly my mindset that was blocking me from being able to really grow. I knew the strategies. I like a lot of people know the same things, but why some can make it and others can't, and it has to do with the mindset. The different fears, not things from the past that we are not dealing with, that are in our subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind runs 90% of our actions, our thoughts, feelings. So we don't listen what's going on in our subconscious mind. It's just going to take us wherever it wants to go. And many times the subconscious mind is in protective mode, and it's going to kind of picture a negative outcome in the future because it's trying to protect us.
Right.
And that negative outcome might be pushing me back, holding me back, not to move forward in my business or whatever decision I have to make, business or live in life, So I do a bunch of things. I'm mindset coach, business and life coach, because I've been working for the past 10 years in my business, in my life, personal development, and a lot with mindset. So I kind of mix everything together, but mostly I'm focusing on mindset,
So how long ago was it that you experienced that up and down before you kind of had that coach that kind of came in and showed you some of this stuff? How long ago was that?
It was around 7 years of struggling, 7 years of just going up a little bit, then getting stuck, going down, up again, falling, and it was just like this. And then after that, it started going up, and up. And it was amazing.
I mean, how long ago was it when you started like working on the mindset stuff with that coach? How many
10 years ago?
It was 10 years ago? And then 10 years, and then 7 years before that was like all the struggling?
Exactly.
Oh, wow. So it's been like a journey, a little process.
Yes.
So after going through that transformation with that coach and kind of learning like these are the things that are holding me back, that's what inspired you then to go on to say, hey, these are things that other entrepreneurs could use as well.
Exactly. That's the idea.
And so remind me one more time, what was the business that you had for those 7 years that was rough? What types of things were you guys doing?
We offered first aid training, emergency care for people that work on ambulances, rescue training, wilderness emergency care training, all related with emergency care and rescue training.
And so then you have that, and then you have also the mindset. That's two different companies, right?
Exactly.
And with the mindset, you work with people all around the world?
Yes. We started a project like 4 years ago. As I'm in emergency care, I started struggling a lot with PTSD and a lot of people around me because I used to work on ambulances with firefighters and things like that. And I started seeing a lot of mind issues from people that work in these lines of work that are very difficult, of course, and they don't have the correct tools. So I started putting together with psychologists and different people, these tools that I have and different other people. We put together some trainings to help people start dealing with these negative emotions, negative feelings, thoughts that were popping up in their head. And most of us are repressing them. And in emergency care, as you have very high stress situations for a couple of minutes, even maybe 30 minutes, an hour, and then you're done. That's really strong on us. As an entrepreneur, you don't have that in a short time, but you can start developing along days or even weeks.
Right.
So I started offering those lectures for emergency care people, firefighters, police, and doctors, nurses. And I realized that the same things could be put into entrepreneurs or to any area, because the mind, if you understand how it works and everything, as I was saying about the subconscious mind, that can be applied to everything. I help people with relationships. I help people with entrepreneurs, with CEOs. I help a variety of people with what I do, because mindset fits for everyone. You know,
Right.
If you don't have a correct mindset, you're going to screw up whatever you want to start: relationship, love, friendships, family, whatever. Yeah.
What are some common things that you see that hold people back as far as like mindset goes? What are a lot of negative thoughts or a lot of things that are stopping a lot of people that are common across the board that you see?
Yeah, the thing is, like, the basic thing is that we tell stories ourselves in the back of our head subconsciously. And most people have no idea what they're telling themselves, because as soon as they have a negative thought, they repress it, because that's what we were taught when we were kids and growing up. And there's a lot of gurus out there that just tell you, be positive, think positive. If you think negative, that's what you're going to bring to your life. And so they taught us how to repress the negative feelings or negative emotions. But we need to understand that that negative emotion comes from an unprocessed event that happened in our past. So we don't deal with it. Yes, we're going to repress it. We're not going to get rid of it. So we can disconnect from that emotion, feeling, thought, but it didn't go away.
Because we're like, hey, we can't think negative thoughts. We could just got to like hold that in, but it doesn't go away. We just end up holding it in, is what you're saying, right?
Exactly. And I work with people that make tons of money. I was working with someone that makes $100,000 a month, and he wasn't feeling happy. He told me, I feel empty inside. And he's a great entrepreneur. He has lots of businesses. He has the family. He has the house, the car. He has everything that somebody would like to have in their life. And he told me that deep down he felt empty, because, again, he wasn't listening to the stories in the back of his head. So each person has their own stories. They're similar, but not the same. But imagine, Dee, if your parents struggled with money, you could have told yourself when you were a kid that money is bad, that money brings problems to the family, that money splits people. I work with a lot of people that their parents split up, and maybe they were struggling with money. So the kid related the split with not having money. So
it's all about your perception of the events basically that have happened in your life and the story that you tell based on what happened, kind of, right?
Exactly.
So what's it? I hear that a lot from people here too. And I think the sad thing that I think that happens is, for the guy that makes $100,000, I don't know him personally, but let's say like people that I know, either you see this guy in a nice car, you see that he makes money, or it's the person on social media that looks like they're killing it and they're having a great life. But when you get to know them, you know that they're not happy. But people that don't know, they're trying to be these people. And then I'm like, you don't know that this person, the route that they went on doesn't really lead to happiness. You're just going to end up with money. So what is a solution? If you're that person, what's a solution for that? Like, you have these stories, these negative thoughts in your head, these perceptions that you have for these events. How do you like overcome that? How do you change that so you stop feeling empty inside?
So first, Dee, what you got to do is understand that, as you said it, happiness. And I loved it. That's why I wanted to jump on this podcast with you, is that a lot of people out there are just selling, like, make tons of money, make money. And it's like, what? And a lot of people think that happiness is related with money. And you know, guys, what? I have made a lot of money, and happiness has nothing to do with money. Like, I went through that stage, and I realized that money didn't make me happy. The same problems I had before I had money, they keep coming back. So it's BS when they tell you that money takes away problems. Your problems are the same with or without money. Maybe, yes, there are other problems. Maybe it won't be that, oh, I cannot get into the end of the month, I cannot eat food. Yes, right. Those are the problems without money. But when you have money, you're going to have similar problems in what those feelings that are triggering inside
just on
of
a different scale.
Exactly. But the problems are going to still be there, and that's very important. So first of all, as I found it very interesting, what you told me, Dee, is that money has nothing to do with happiness. Happiness is something within that we got to learn how to be able to unleash, to develop, to be able to be happiness, not achieve happiness from the
Right,
outside.
right.
And that's a big problem. Entrepreneurs, many that I work with, look to make 5K a month, 10K a month, 20K a month, 50, whatever they are, starting their business, growing their business, even going beyond. And when I ask them a lot, why do they want to do that? Is because when I get to 10K, I'm going to be happy. When I get to 50K, I'm going to be happy.
Right,
When I
right.
get to 10K, I'm going to be happy. No, you're not going to be happy. And I was there. You're going to get to 10K. You're going to say like, oh, now I want 20K. So you're going to go to 20K. Then you're going to do 50. You're going to do 100. You can go to 1,000,000. And you're still not going to be happy because you're looking for an external thing to be happy. Make sense?
Oh, 100%. And I think it's kind of like what you're saying is like people are thinking that the milestones is what make you happy when really it's and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's more like the journey, right? It's like you need to enjoy the process of getting there, or just like every day, like go outside and enjoy the city that you're in, or your family, or that you can walk, or that you have a phone to do business in, or that you just got one customer. You know what I mean? And I think and I see that a lot too. And that's why I like to do, or that's why I do like this podcast and I do the stuff I do on social media. When I first got involved as being an entrepreneur, that's what I thought. I see all these people. I'm like, man, if I could just do that, I'll be happy. And then when I started talking to these people, I'm like, I'm already happier now than they are with all this stuff, you know? And I was like, why is that? And I think it's like you said, it's one, it's the stories that people tell in their head. And it's two, it's basing happiness on like events. Like, oh, if I just could get the new Tesla, I'll be happy. But it's like, and I think I forget who said it, but they're like, it's not happiness. It's kind of like, I forget what word they use, but it's more like excitement. They're like, it makes you excited for like 1 or 2 days, but a Lamborghini, after you're in it for like a week after week after week, it just becomes another car. You're not going to get excited about it every single time you get in it like you did the first time. So exactly. What advice do you give people that are struggling with that? Like, what can they do about that? Like,
you know what? Not right now that we're with the coronavirus. I tell everyone, like, it's a bad thing that's going on. Please don't get me wrong. It's a really bad thing that's going on. People are dying. Okay, I'm not taking the weight out of that.
The disease is bad.
Sorry?
The disease in itself is bad.
Exactly. But if I'm safe at home and I'm okay, I got to be grateful about that. And what the coronavirus is doing is slowing us down. I've been working with a lot of people that are having, and I hear a lot of people out there. You can see it on the website, on the media, everywhere. People are struggling a lot because right now they're saying, I don't know, coronavirus is making me angry. It's making me mad. It's making me this. It's making me feel this. We're blaming coronavirus for my feelings. I gotta understand that today is the coronavirus, tomorrow is economy, tomorrow is the other president, the day after is the weather. If today I'm not feeling okay with myself, it means that I can blame coronavirus, I can blame my wife, I can blame my kids, but it's actually me. I'm the author in my life. I choose how to feel, and that comes from up here. So yes, I can blame some external circumstance or factor, but I got to start understanding that everything is within me. If something bothers me, and I always use this, Dee, if I'm pointing out, saying like coronavirus, my wife, my kids are making me angry, it actually 3 fingers are pointing back at me.
Right.
So I am angry and I'm blaming my wife. I am angry and I'm blaming coronavirus. So whatever feelings are coming out, I am the owner, nobody else. I do it because that's what I was told when I was a kid. My parents would tell me, oh, you make me so happy. Oh, you make me mad. You make me angry, you know? And we learned that we can trigger other people's feelings, and that's not true. Okay.
Do you feel like that's the case in every single situation? Let's say coronavirus happens. I go to the store. Somebody tries to steal the toilet paper I have in my cart and I get angry. Is it something I need to deal with, or do I have a legitimate reason to be upset with them?
Good. There's 2 things there. Yes, what the person did was wrong. We're going to say the truth. He cut the line and he took the paper that you were grabbing, or he took it from your cart and took it away. The action was not good. But if you get angry, I would ask you, Dee, why did you get angry? Because that person was disrespectful. Okay. So we start going deeper, deeper, and deeper. And I'm going to ask you, as we go down, is in which aspect of your life are you being disrespectful with yourself?
What do you mean by that?
I'm pointing out and saying Dee was disrespectful. So where am I being disrespectful? Maybe I'm needing to be quiet for a little bit, listening to my inner voice saying like, hey, Tommy, I'm tired. I don't want to be in the media anymore. I want to go rest. And I'm not resting because I got to make money, you know, I got to make money. I got to work. So I just put everything here. But I have in the back of my head a voice saying like, hey, I'm tired. Can we slow down? Or I'm scared or whatever. And we repress it. We deny it and we keep going. Like a lot of gurus out there are telling you, hey, Dee, just go do it. Whatever you want to do lives, go do them. If you're scared, just do it. No, because if you just do it, there's, again, two things. You can get stuck and not do it because this voice in the back of your head that you're scared is telling you not to do it. Or you go do it and you repress that voice in the back of your head. You got to understand that that voice in the back of your head is a part of you. It's not something external. It's a part of you. So you're repressing part of you. So the example I give is, imagine you sprain your ankle and whatever you run fast, it hurts a lot. But if you walk and you run very slow, it doesn't hurt. So you got to go out into a race. How would you like to race? Fast or slow? If you're going on a race, you want to run fast. Right. But you cannot run fast because your ankle hurts. So you're going to run slowly. That's not going to be efficient. So what I work is on getting, like, acknowledging these voices, listening, understanding what are they telling you, because they're always coming from your past. Imagine, Dee, when you were 5, your parents were fighting in front of you, and you said like, oh, love is bad. Look at my parents fighting, so love is a bad thing. So this is the story you're telling yourself. So you get into a relationship, and you're telling yourself like, oh, I don't want to fall in love because love separates people. Love brings pain in the relationship. So I don't want to love. I want to be with somebody, but I don't want to love, you know? So that is Dee from your past, 5 years old, that's telling you that love is bad. So if you just repress it, still is in there. And it's going to screw you because
you haven't dealt with it.
Sorry?
Because you haven't dealt with it. It's like it's still there. You held it in, but you didn't deal with it. That's what you're saying? Yep.
90% of your subconscious mind is running your life. And a lot of people talk about reprogramming, but reprogramming is not just eliminating that. Imagine it's like a kid. What I work in reprogramming is like a kid. You imagine yourself talking with your 5-year-old self and telling yourself, okay, what do you feel, Dee, that love is bad? Why do you feel that? And you have a conversation with this part of you, and it's amazing. People might think I'm crazy, but guys, this is the way to go. I hear a lot of people out there, I don't want to give names, big guys out there. I was just listening to the other day to somebody saying how to reprogram your mind, and he's a big guy out there, big name, and he was saying just there's nobody in your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is empty. No, it's not empty. It's filled up with these little versions of yourself that went through different incidents in your life. And let me ask you this, Dee. Have you ever found yourself acting in ways that you wouldn't normally act? Like,
of course,
doing a drum or being really angry, like saying, man, where did that come from? You know, has that happened to you?
Yeah, of course.
That is your subconscious mind, a little Dee from your past that is taking over your life and riding the car. It's like putting a 5-year-old in front of a wheel and letting him drive. That's why it's a mess when that happens.
Right.
And you see that all the time. And when do you see that the most? Entrepreneurs, that they don't show it. It happens inside of them. These fights, like, I got to do a live, but I don't want to do it. I want to do post, but what if I get rejected? And they got all these conversations. And I work with tons and tons of people that have amazing projects, amazing businesses, and they cannot start. They're just stuck there, so scared of going out because they're scared. And look at this. You were asking me. They have the belief in the back of their head that they're a failure. So they don't want to take action, because if they take action and the action is not correct and they don't, I don't know, maybe they set an expectation up here. If they don't hit the expectation, that confirms, it's not true, but it would confirm the false belief that they're a failure. Right. So I'd rather stay there and not do anything, you know? Doesn't that resonate?
How do you feel about Tony Robbins?
I like some of the things, but others I don't. I've seen things that I like and things that I don't. One of the shows, in Netflix, you can see it. There's a lady that's dating somebody, and
he makes him call on the phone, and he's like, call
exactly, exactly. Like, call him on the phone and tell him you're done. Like, what? That's not being empathic with this part of me that is afraid of being alone. Maybe that part, I don't know. I'm just pretending, okay?
Right.
But imagine this lady is really afraid of being alone. I cannot force her to repress this part of her and go call her. So things I like, but other things
because she
dislike
got rid of the
because
problem, but she didn't address like the issue, basically. So it's like
she
she
didn't go
got
to
rid
the
of
root
him,
cause.
but she could still feel that way inside. It's gonna happen again.
Exactly. You just said it. It's going to happen again. You need to heal the root cause that made her get into a relationship to feel loved, to feel happy, or whatever, what we were talking at the beginning.
Right.
So if I don't go to the root cause, I'm going to fall again. How many times you guys out there started a business or went into a relationship and the same problems from past relationship, past business, or whatever came into the same relationship again? And like, what? How could this happen? I broke up with my girlfriend. She was very possessive, whatever. And now I get together with another woman. She's the same. No, we are creating that with our mind. It's people say I'm crazy, but you create it with your mind, because
Right.
if you have a possessive girlfriend and you're okay with yourself, you can tell her, you know what? I love you. I like you. I want to go out with you, but I want to have friends. I want to have friend girls. Okay. If you're not good with that, I'm sorry for you. And you just put a limit. You set boundaries. But as we don't want to be alone or we want to be loved, we accept that
100%.
reaction.
And so when you're working with these people, that's what you're basically, I mean, obviously it's more complex, but you're going in with them and you're saying, let's take a look at where you feel like you're struggling with these feelings. And let's take a look at what are these root causes that you're dealing with. And then let's look at the perception that you have around them and why, one, that's why it's harmful, and why two, like a lot of the times why it's like false, why it's not like accurate. Right. And I think that's the one thing I do like about, one thing I like about Tony Robbins and Awaken the Giant that I try to remember is he's like, whenever you're angry or whatever, you have these emotions, it's all about how you are looking at it. So let's say, for example, if somebody, for the coronavirus thing, if somebody, you're at the store and somebody steals something from you, like toilet paper from your thing, either you can say this person is disrespecting me, or you could be like, man, what would I do if I was them and maybe they have a grandmother at the house that's dying? It's like all about how you look at it, right? So one, you could have empathy for it. One, you want to fight this person. And I think sometimes people don't want to accept that because they think it means that we're just saying, oh, people can do whatever they want to do. And it's just how we look at it. I don't think it's that, but it's just like taking more ownership for basically your feelings, right?
You just said it, the feelings. But I would go deeper, and what you just said, I go deeper with the people that I work to find the root cause. Why are you getting angry? Why are you getting disrespect? Because yes, Dee, you can change today, but the memory from your past, your Dee that was 5 years old, that was taught that stealing was bad, and maybe you stole because you were a kid, you didn't know better, and you stole, and you really got reprimanded, you got screamed at, whatever. That is the part that wants to kind of go hit the kid that just try to steal from you,
Right,
so
right.
if you go back into your past, but back into your past, meaning you get that memory and you bring Dee 5-year-old and tell Dee, hey Dee, what's going on? It's not good to steal, whatever he's saying. Okay, and you change the perception from Dee from 5-year-old, as it's in the memory, you can change your memories, the perception. I mean, not what happened, because what happened happened,
Right.
but what perception you got out of the situation. So that's the difference that I call from different people out there working, that they change the perception. But today, if you really want to change in the long run, you need to change your memories from your past, because your memory from your past make you who you are today.
Do you feel
so I can
like
change today, but if I don't reprogram my subconscious mind, my memories,
it'll keep happening?
It will keep happening. Exactly.
Do you feel like it's more about, it's kind of like a hard way to word this, but do you feel like it's more about positioning it in a way that benefits you, or is it a way about reality? So let's say somebody could really do something harmful to you. And now I feel like you have the option. Some people are going to say, oh, well, it's not their fault. It's the way I look at it, versus they really did something, but I need to look at it differently. Right. Does that kind of make sense?
Yes,
How do you know when to change the perspective on what happened? Do you always try to go for the positive? Do you always try to go for something that benefits you in the long run? How do you know, okay, I need to change my perspective here? Or maybe this was something that really bad that happened, and this is really how I do need to look at it.
Okay, I like that. 8 months ago, 10 months ago, I invested a lot of money in a company to grow and to help me in marketing and the coaching business and everything. And these guys just disappeared. Like, I paid them a lot of money, and they worked for me. It was a 10-week program. After the 4th week, they just disappeared. And it was something really bad, because they disappeared with my money. They didn't, when I started telling them they needed to give back the money because they didn't deliver what they promised, they just kicked me out, didn't respond anymore, and they were gone. And at the beginning, I felt really bad because they did something wrong. And I still think that, okay, don't get me wrong. They did something wrong because they ran away with my money.
Right.
But it made me look inside of me and go to very dark places inside of me that I wouldn't have seen if I hadn't gone through that. Make sense?
A little bit. Kind of go more into that if you feel comfortable.
So, yeah, I don't mind at all. So many times what happens is when we go through a difficult situation, let's start with this, Dee, or people listening out there. When have you grown most? When you have been drinking a mojito, drinking some beers, whatever, in a bar with your friends, or going through the worst scenario in your life or a difficult situation?
Right.
When
difficult
have you grown most?
Difficult situation, exactly. For sure. Yeah.
So I went through a difficult situation where I invested a lot of my money for a company to help me grow, and they just took the money away and didn't answer. So one thing, the action, they promised something and they didn't deliver. That's wrong, of course. But on the other hand, it made me grow so much because it made me go inside. I started feeling pretty bad about the situation. So I started going inside and try to find why I was feeling so bad about the situation. And I found I had false beliefs around money that I had worked so many times around money issues, but I never gone so deep. And the only way to go so deep was when these guys just disappear with my money. Make sense?
So I feel like that's a common thing that could happen. So what issue could relate to money around that would change your perspective? Like, what did you discover that you're like, okay, this isn't as bad as I thought?
It's going to sound very stupid, Dee, okay, because I'm going to say something that's basic, but it was in my subconscious mind, deep down buried, okay? So most people are going to say like, oh, that's kind of sweet. And it's okay. I don't mind opening up. I'm just saying this because it's basic, but sometimes it's so basic that we don't even see it. I had worked many times around money issues, but what I found in there, deep rooted, was that money is a bad thing and that money separates people and corrupts people. And that's what happened to me. These guys run away with my money. So it corrupted people that said they were the best doing this, marketing, blah, blah, blah. They just took my money. And money is bad because it corrupts people and it separates people. And that's were the beliefs that I had. My parents didn't get separated by money, but we had many money issues when I was a kid. So I struggled with that a lot growing up. And I started, of course, changing those beliefs. But it's not that you talk with, like, you have one conversation with yourself and you're done.
Right, of course.
Many times you go deeper and deeper and deeper and you unleash more of a potential. And that's the thing. A lot of people tell me, oh, yeah, I'm self-aware. I have done work with myself. I'm okay. I started working with a lady that she's like, I don't know. She reached out to me and then she said, I don't know what you got to teach me. I've been working with myself for over 10 years. I'm okay. But you reached out to me. Yeah, but I don't know. Like, she was kind of in a protective mode. We started working and it was amazing the things she started getting out. So although you have done work and I have done work for the past 10 years, my mentor has done work on herself for 25 years and kept on working on herself. So you keep going deeper. So I found money is bad, money corrupts people. So I thought, and my issue was I had money, but I would just spend it. I couldn't save money. So I realized that I wasn't saving money because I thought I was a bad person if I had money. Make sense?
Yeah, it does. And so how did that change your perspective on whether or not you were upset with them, or did it?
I'm still upset with I don't know if upset, like I'm really, it's weird. I'm grateful that they did that to me because I was able to unleash all of this that I get that in the back of my head. But I still feel that they did something wrong because they disappear with my money. So, but I'm not angry at them. You know, I could let go of the emotions and everything because I processed them. Things, and these guys, I want to be clear, things on the outside are the same. These guys run away with my money. They didn't give me back or anything. But inside of me, I'm in peace. Why? Because I processed my negative emotions. I learned from them. So the process I teach, you get a behavior. You get angry, you outburst whenever somebody does something to you wrong, you know? Outburst. That comes from anger, negative emotion. But people stay here kind of covering this up or just saying, yeah, I'm angry, go hit something, whatever, and they're done. No. The anger, if you use that as a GPS, it can take you to the false belief. Why am I angry? Because somebody was disrespectful to me. Why do I feel somebody was disrespectful? I'm going to give you an example, okay? Because they didn't take me in consideration. Okay, so we start going deeper and deeper. And to give you an example, maybe this guy feels that he is recognized.
That's how I feel sometimes.
Take him in consideration. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's the only thing I feel like that ever gets me upset almost. When I feel like if I'm putting in a lot of energy and then the people around me are putting in like not a lot, almost like the only time I get angry. And that, like you said, that probably goes back to something, but
Okay, so I would ask you, do you mind opening up with that?
yeah,
Do
for
you
sure.
want to go with that?
For
Is that
sure.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so it makes you angry when people don't put in the work. Okay, correct?
Correct.
So you had arranged with people to work together. Tell me a little bit of the story. You got people you're working with, and you do most of the work, and they don't do their part. Correct?
Yeah, let's say a situation like that I would be like, okay, we're supposed to be working together. Like you're not doing your part, but I'm doing my part, and I'm helping you, but you're not willing to put in that same energy to help the situation or to help both of us.
Okay, yeah. So how does that make you feel then? Just say it again. You said it, but a little bit more. What does that make you feel?
I mean, irritated, frustrated.
Okay. Okay. And what do you feel they are doing to you because they are not doing their part?
I feel like
What do you feel about that?
it feels like a lack of respect, really.
Okay. Yeah. They're okay. Yeah. And how does that make you feel about yourself when they're disrespecting you?
It kind of makes me feel sometimes like, why is it like it's not? And what I do not, how do you see me? How is this person looking at me? Because I'm putting in the work because I see you as a valuable, not valuable, but I respect you as a human. But if you're doing that to me, then it's like, how do you see me?
So how do you feel they're seeing you when they don't respect you?
Say that one more time.
How do you feel they're seeing you when they don't respect you?
It feels like this, like you're not. It's like very, very little.
There you go. So look at this. I'm gonna go faster because we have a time frame here, but look at this. So you're saying you feel little when somebody around you doesn't acknowledge you and recognize you and give and put the work in, correct?
Correct.
So look what I'm gonna say right now. We're gonna change that. I feel little when somebody does this. So let's cut the part that you're saying when somebody does this. How do you feel?
Oh, what I said before, it was like little, I guess.
There you go. So you feel little inside. And listen to this, okay, Dee, because I want to be clear. A part of you, not the whole of you, because if not, you're going to have starting a voice inside of you saying, no, I don't feel little. It's okay. A part of me feels little when somebody doesn't recognize my work or doesn't work as I would like to. So the belief that I have is that I feel little, that I am little. And I'm putting it on the outside, blaming somebody else. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yeah.
So the thing is that Dee, in his past, with his mom and dad relationship, when you're 0 and 7, you grow your psyche. Your psychology is built up when you're 0 and 7. So if your parents didn't take you in consideration, if they yelled at you, if they spanked you, if they didn't love you, I work with a lot of people. Listen to this because a lot of people tell me, "Oh, I had a great childhood."
My story is closer to what you said the first time.
Oh, okay. Just because some people, but maybe the viewers are saying like, "Oh, I got a great life. I got a great childhood." If your dad got angry at you 1, 2, or 3 times along all your life, maybe that put yourself something like a belief in your head. So it doesn't mean that they have to hit you really hard. They could have just looked at you like, "Dee, go take a shower."
Right.
And that's enough for you to say like, "Oh, there's something wrong with me. Look at dad. Look as he's looking at me." You know.
Mine was like a very like abusive situation. Like I never met my dad before. And then when my mom got remarried, it was like I moved when I was like 14. So it was like a very, very like physically abusing like situation. So maybe that could be what you're talking about.
Yep. It is. Like we gotta go deeper, but remember it's between 0 and 7, but it repeats, the pattern repeats. So between 0 and 7, maybe your dad wasn't there, or he was. When did your dad bail on you guys?
I never met him.
Never, ever.
Never.
Okay. So you never met it. And how did your mom treat you? Was she a little bit strict, hard on you when you were a kid?
Not really. But then when she got remarried, it's like when I told you that situation, it's like she would just she would be aware of it, but she would never say anything about it.
And that was around 14 or what age?
From 8 to 14.
Okay, 8. Okay. So at the beginning, you didn't have a father image. And then
Right,
on the
right,
other
right.
hand, when you had a father image at 8, it was a hard one on
Yeah,
you.
hard.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So first of all, you got to understand that if we don't have one of the images, mom or dad, we're going to feel bad about ourselves. We can never, as kid, see mom and dad as a problem. So if dad is not around, we got to go deeper, no? And we got to like really go deeper. But we got to see what is the story you told yourself as a kid. Like why dad wasn't around you. Normally, it changes. It varies the wording or the idea. But the idea is that I wasn't good enough for dad to stay, you know?
Right, right.
So every person has their own story that they're telling themselves, but to give you an idea, that could be it around that words, or a little bit different. But so if that is not around, I'm not good enough. And again, I feel small. And then I get another parent, another dad figure, stepdad figure, and he's abusive. So again, I feel small again. It reinforces that I feel small. So now you're going out into the world and you want people to see you, okay, value you, and suddenly it happens that they don't value you, and that makes
Right,
you really angry because it triggers all your memories from your past.
right, 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 right. So what's the story that needs to be, what you said, cut it? Let's go deeper on that. Like, so what would be that next step from that?
Ask yourself, like, what I do is you close your eyes, you breathe. When you breathe a little bit and you relax, you kind of not shut down, but you quiet the conscious mind, and you start asking yourself, okay, what do I feel about this? How do I feel about my dad leaving us? So maybe you start feeling some things, anger, sadness, and you got to start going deeper and deeper and deeper to see what is the false belief about what you told yourself about yourself, your dad leaving. Make sense?
When you're doing this with most of your clients, are you doing this via like computer, or is it in person?
100% right now are all computer, phone or computer.
But before it was some in person?
Yeah, exactly. I did most of the time. I've been coaching for 10 years now, okay, face to face, because the training that I had, I also did some coaching face to face with people and help them out, share these tools. And for the past year, I went internationally. And when I went international, of course, I started using the computer. I went and offered some lectures around the States. I went to Mexico. I was invited to the Caribbean, Colombia, Argentina, Chile, to offer lectures around this mindset and stress management. So I used to do it face to face. But now, a year ago, I started doing more on the computer and using the technology, of course, to make it easier so I don't have to travel so much.
So is this something that when you're going through this with people that they're getting like pretty emotional when by the time you're figuring this stuff out?
Yes, very emotional. But you know what? Again, if you're looking to make money to be happy, if you're all of those things have to do with your emotions. People run away from emotions, but we got to understand our emotion is like trying to run away from. Imagine yourself trying to run away from your head, trying to run away from your hand.
Right.
You cannot outrun your emotions. And the other day I was talking to somebody and she said, "No, Tommy, I'm reading a book that says how to kill your emotions." I'm like, what? Yeah,
Right.
it's amazing. It's really good. It's how to deal with your negative emotions, how to get rid of them. Just by the title, how to kill your emotions, like, no way. It's like, if my hand hurts, I'm going to chop it off. No, I got to deal with it. The
Right.
same with your mind. And you know what scares most people, and it is subconsciously, and we don't know, Dee, is that when you were a kid, Dee, and when you were crying, what would your mom tell you when you were crying, or your stepdad? What would they tell you?
Oh, my mom wasn't really around that much. I live with my aunt and my uncle, so they would be
Okay.
more positive.
Okay. They didn't get angry at you when you were negative, when you were in a dundrum or stuff like that? No.
No.
Okay, good. But normally,
But
what
growing
happens
up, once I was like 8, then yeah.
yeah, exactly. What happens many times is that when we throw a dundrum, when we get angry, when we get negative as a kid, we were just shut down. We lost our parents' love because they couldn't deal with us, because they couldn't deal with themselves, they couldn't deal with us. So we learned that negative emotions are a menace, because if I bring a negative emotion, you're going to push away because you don't know how to deal with it. So most people are teaching out there to just reject, ignore, repress negative emotions. And if you look, what are the big numbers for depression? What are the numbers for addictions? What are the numbers for cancer? Everything is going sideways, health-wise, I mean. So there's something we're doing wrong. And the big thing that I've saw in my life and the people that I work with has to do with emotions. Once you start dealing with emotions, you start integrating parts of yourself that are lost there in the back of your head, and you can take massive actions in your life. It's amazing the difference, you know? And it has to do with acknowledging the emotions and dealing with them. And yeah, you can cry from your past. The other day I was working with a lady and she started feeling really sad, really bad. And she's like, what are you doing to me? And I told her, I'm not doing anything to you. You are just releasing the emotions you have been repressing for years. And she's like, oh, wow. She was trying to blame me for making her feel that bad.
I think the issue, I don't know about in Argentina, but I feel like in America is that like you can't have these kind of conversations openly in the media because it's like you're basically telling the person like they need to do something. And I feel like in the media, it's always like, oh, it's not you. It's you need to take this pill or you need to blame this person. When instead it's like people get upset if you're like, you can actually change this, but you're going to have to like look inside. They're like, no, I can't control these emotions. It's how I was born, or I have this sickness, or I need to take this pill. And I'm like, really, I'm not saying that stuff is fake, but I think if you're willing to dig deep and to look at these things like you're talking about, I feel like 99% of the population, like you can deal with your emotions and these feelings that you have if you're willing to admit that you have control over them.
Exactly. But you know what? We were told that we're the victims and there's nothing we can do with D. That's the idea. And I tell people this, and I don't care doing saying open like this. As I study this, D, to help people, I know people study this to screw up people. How to make you consume, how to make you buy, how to make you be sad.
Right.
You get stuck with the system.
Right. And I think that's what the marketing and all that stuff is. And it's like they want to market you and program you to feel like you need to rely on the stuff that they want you to buy, these pills, all this type of stuff. And now I feel like it goes back to what you're talking about with the story that you tell yourself. Oh, it's not my past. It's not things I can deal with. It's the way that my brain works. And the only way to fix that is if I take this medicine that they tell me to take for the rest of my life. And if I ever get off of it, I'll never be able to deal with it.
Exactly. Look at the media when you see now marketing, people telling you, oh, do you want to learn how to make $1 million? And that changed my life. And now I'm happy. Do you want to be happy in your life? Make $500,000. Do you want to travel around the world and be happy? It's like everything is related with emotions. So if marketing uses emotions to make you buy, to make you purchase the things that they're offering, imagine if you can master your emotions, you're going to buy whatever you need, not whatever is out there. You see the difference? And I tell people, when you work with me, it's not that you're not going to buy, you're just going to sit in your house and not do anything. No, you're going to be free to do whatever you want. Because each time we have a challenging situation, I teach this. We got two ways to go. Protect ourselves or learn. So I want to eat chocolate. I want to buy a course. I want to go online and watch a movie, whatever. Why the intention? Why is it? Do I feel sad and I want to do that to cover my sadness? Or I feel happy and I just want to go out there and buy something for me or watch a movie because I'm happy and I want to watch a movie. You see the difference there?
Right.
So they study emotions to make us buy. Okay, what if we can control those emotions to do whatever we want and not whatever other people want from us?
I feel like a lot of people that I personally know, they live their life more like robots. It's like they don't have control over anything they do. And it's kind of like, that's why I love doing stuff like this, because I feel like there's already enough people out there talking about money. And I don't think money is bad. It's like, yeah, you need like be happy, and money can't buy happiness, but like poverty ain't going to buy you nothing. So it's like you need a certain level of money or a level of income. But I just think there's a lot of people out there that's like, they're not living with any like intention. It's kind of just like whatever people tell you to do, they do it. And it's like whatever emotions they tell you to feel, you feel it. And I feel like obviously I haven't like mastered it, but I feel like, like last year I sold my car. I got rid of like a lot of stuff because I'm like, it's not those things. Like if you're just waiting to have a fancy car to be happy, like you're not gonna be happy. It's about like, can you just find joy in like everyday life? And I think having conversations like this and letting people hear them is like one of the most important things that we can do for people.
Nice. Yeah, that's the idea. Unfortunately, as you said, they program us. They're instead of they're programming us, they're using the programs in the back of our head, in our subconscious mind, to reinforce what's going on. So they're telling us that we need something to be happy because that's how we were programmed in our past. So they know as I know the programs in your head and I can help you to become free, they know your programs in your head to make you buy, to make you feel miserable and need external things to be happy. Make sense?
Makes sense. So before we hop off here, what are like maybe, so everybody right now is basically constricted to their house, right? And what would you say are maybe like 2 or 3 tips that you would give for people that they can do to work on this stuff for themselves right now?
First of all, I talk about this, the 5 steps: identify, acknowledge, accept, learn, heal, learn, reprogram, and transform. So whenever
Say
you're
that one more
feeling
time.
bad, sorry,
Say that one more time.
identify, acknowledge, accept, learn, heal, and transform. So what are these 5 steps? D, you're feeling sad. You had a struggle with your kid. You had a struggle with your wife, and you're like, oh, they pissed me off, and you're, again, pointing out, they make me so angry, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I feel angry. Identify, acknowledge. Okay, I allow myself to be angry. I can go into my room, hit my mattress, just express the anger. And then ask myself, once I bring it out, I express my anger, my sadness, I cry, whatever. I don't hurt them because I don't need to go hurt my wife. I can do it. I can express myself on my own. So I get all this anger out. And then I ask myself, why am I angry? Because and again, maybe you did the food, or you're working, you're bringing the income, and your wife is expecting you to do more things. And you're like, what? I'm already busting my ass 8 hours a day, 2 hours a day to bring the money. You should take care of the household or whatever, whatever story. So she's not recognizing you. Work related. Remember, we talked about the work that your peers don't recognize you. Maybe your wife is not recognizing you. So you feel bad because she's not recognizing you. You expect her not to bother you bringing more stuff to the house because you already bring too much. So then, okay, so what do I feel about that? That she doesn't recognize me. She doesn't recognize my work. Okay, so what does that make you feel? Again, as you said, maybe it makes me feel little because I'm doing a lot and she's not doing the work that I do.
Right.
It makes me feel little. So again, she is making me feel little. She is making me feel little. No, I feel little, and with her comment, I interpret that she's saying that I'm little. Makes sense?
Yeah. That's not reality. That's the way you're perceiving reality.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because she could tell you, hey, could you wash the dishes? And you could say, like, hey, I'm really tired, I cannot do it. And she can get angry, and you can be okay with yourself and say, I'm sorry if you get angry, but I don't feel like washing it. I work all day, whatever. Or you can just say, okay, I understand. She's also tired. I can go wash the dishes.
And that's the last. What's the last? So that was the last step. What's the last step?
Learn.
Okay.
I feel I'm little.
Okay.
Heal. The heal and reprogram is, okay, I feel I'm little. So if I feel I'm little, I'm understanding that every situation that is presented in front of me that makes me angry, it reinforces that false belief. So now you can start asking yourself, am I really little? No, I'm not really little. The other person cannot see maybe or recognize what I'm doing. That's her problem, not mine. I'm doing a lot. Right. And I recognize myself as doing a lot. So you can start writing down. One of the big things that I tell people is start writing your emotions, anger, whatever is coming out. Try to go to the belief. And on separate thing, start writing down who you were a year ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. What are the small wins you've had along the way? Maybe a month, 2 months, whatever, or bigger wins. Because, in the entrepreneur area, everybody's saying like, oh, you got to make if you're not making 50K a month, there's something wrong with you. You're not your offer, you're whatever. They're blaming you. Again, you're using your emotions to blame you. And as we don't want to feel small, you said the word small, if you're saying that I feel small, you're saying that if I'm not making 50K, I'm small and I don't want to feel small, what am I going to do? I'm going to hire you.
Figure out ways to do it. It's like, oh, okay, I don't
I'm
want to
going
feel
to
like
hire
that.
you.
Right.
So marketing is using all these things to try to get you to buy their stuff.
So what's the last thing?
The transformation happens when you do the healing and the learning, the learning and the healing. You learn, I feel small. I brought it from the subconscious mind to the conscious mind. I know now, and I accept it, and I don't blame other people that I feel small about myself. And my wife is just showing me, hey, Dee, right there, I think you got something you got to take care of, you know?
Because what I think too, what you're saying is like accepting what's reality and the emotion is two different things. So somebody could do something that is bad to you. That's one thing, but being angry and acting on it is a totally different thing. So you could be like, they did something wrong, but being angry isn't really going to solve that issue. So I can just choose a different emotion if I want to.
Yeah, but wait, it's not about choosing only. It's facing the negative emotion to find the belief, to change the belief, and then choose another emotion. Makes sense?
Yeah, that way it doesn't keep repeating.
I cannot change the emotion if I don't change the belief. I can pretend and say, yeah, I'm going to be happy.
Oh, yeah, I get what you mean.
But you're not happy. Inside, you still feel frustrated, a failure, or whatever you're feeling inside. And that's what a lot of people do. And you brought the example up. When you talk about Tony Robbins, this lady in front of everyone, she had to be smiling. But I'm pretty sure that deep down, she was like, I cannot believe I'm alone again. How could I do this?
Like she had to go back to her hotel room probably that night alone. And then now she has to deal with those feelings when he's not there, when these other people aren't there. And it's like, how do you deal with it now? Or did you break down?
You know, and maybe call him back and be like, hey, but Judy, you know, I'm sorry, I did something wrong. I did something stupid. Please don't get, you know, and go back with him. And
that's probably why, like on a lot of these talk shows, they fix the issue, but then a year later, it's like they're back in the same thing. And it's probably like what you just said. You didn't actually fix the root cause. You just helped them fix the issue, which you did it for them. They didn't even do it.
Exactly. You are giving them fish instead of teaching them how to fish. And that's what I tell people, Dee. And I'm going to send you the things. Okay. I'm going to send you some things for you to read, Dee, and help you out with this. I give everything out to the people I work with. I don't want them to be depending on me. A lot of people still work with me. Like I've been working with people for months, okay, many times, because they go up to here, they go up to here, and they want to keep going faster, you know? But it's not that I create this necessity that they need me. I teach you the tools for you to do it on your own too. Make sense?
Makes sense, man.
Because I don't want you to be dependent on me. I'm your addiction now. I don't want to be your addiction. Right. I want to be the tool that helps you and show you how to fish and then how to do with those fishes to make more money, whatever you want to do. But that's the big thing that I see. In that case, this person you named and this lady is going to keep coming back to these events because she still feels lonely deep down inside. Because
she's like, I need Tony Robbins to make me feel better. If I don't have him, I can't solve an issue on my problem. A lot of people have that.
And she said that in the show. Didn't you hear that? She said it. If Tony Robbins says it, I do it. Didn't you hear that part?
I don't remember that part, but
you can go back and watch that. And she says it. If Tony, she says he knows her partner. He knows that if you say it, I do it.
I remember that.
It's like, what? No. I don't want you to do something because I told you. I want you to do it because you realize that you need to do that to move forward in your life.
Right. It's like I can give you good advice, but ultimately you should do it because you believe it's the right thing, not because I believe it's the right thing, but you don't, but you're just doing it because I said it.
Exactly. I'm going to get rid of what's telling you to do it because I told you, for you to realize why you need to do it. If not, don't do it. Don't go do something that you're not convinced. Because again, if you're not convinced, you're repressing that part of you, this little D that's looking for your attention.
And I think like what you're talking about is so important. And going back to like how you said people use the emotions, you hear a lot of talk of like, man, if you don't come out of this, time of quarantine making 6 figures or with a new business or whatever, and I believe you should still hustle, but I think this is the most important thing. If you come out of this and you have all this money, but you haven't worked on your mentality or your mindset, well, what's the point? If you can master money, but you can't master your mind, and that doesn't mean you have to be perfect, but to where you're not feeling, you shouldn't be feeling unhappy, unfulfilled every day, even though you're achieving these things that you are telling other people that they need to achieve to be happy. So I think right now it's like while we're at home, it's important to me, at least, that I think these are the things people should work on. And the funny thing is, like, that leads to more money. That leads to all these other things that you want.
Yes.
So how do people get in contact with you?
Exactly. They can look me up as Tommy Walker. I got a couple of Facebook profiles because I got shut down in a couple, when you start reaching out, posting and things like that, I got on Facebook jail. So I just in case I had to put out some more, because we have our organization that I was telling you about, my first business. I have a list of 115,000 people in our page, in our Facebook page. And I got shut down from there. And I got really frustrated because I couldn't get back and post or do anything with the group. So after that, I created several users just to be in charge of that.
Where else are you active? Are you active on any other social media?
I have a website. They can look me up as unleashingyourmindset.com. Unleashing Your Mindset. www.unleashingyourmindset.com. Well, I'm not Tommy Walker with a microphone, and I'm just talking with a microphone. That's the official.
That's it right there?
Unleashing Your Mindset. Exactly. Correct.
Awesome.
That's the one.
But you're not, what about like Instagram or anything like that?
No, I'm not using my, I'm focusing on LinkedIn. That's Tommy Walker too, if you want. Unleashing Your Mindset for Success too. In LinkedIn, Facebook, or the website. Yep.
I'm gonna get you on Instagram. It's a false belief you have of why you're not on there. We're gonna fix
I have an Instagram, but I haven't put energy in it. No, I don't. It's not that I have a false belief. It's that it's more energy I gotta put into another platform. That's the thing. Makes sense?
Talk about it.
Okay.
Man, I love this talk, man. I think it's very important and helping a lot of people. I appreciate you coming on here and doing this with me.
Thank you for what you're doing, Dee. It's amazing that you're trying to change people's head. It's not about money, guys. Make money. Okay, don't get me wrong. Make money. Make tons of money if you want, but that doesn't have to be your motor. If your motor is that, you're gonna get to the end of your life and you're gonna be like, "What did I do?" Be happy and make money.
Like what we're saying, and I think what people get confused is like they think you have to be on one end of the spectrum where you're like, money is amazing, but I have no purpose, or I have purpose and I have no money. But there's a middle where it's like you can have money and purpose. Like we're not saying either one is bad, but one without the other is awful. Like you don't want to have purpose but no money, and you don't want to have a whole bunch of money with no purpose. So it's like you can do both. I think people forget like it's possible to do both. But if you had to focus on one over the other, focus on the purpose, because that's going to help you feel fulfilled every day.
Exactly. If you look at it, look at the actors, look at the people in Hollywood. How many of them have big issues? And you see
suicide, everything. It's crazy.
Why? Because they get up to where they think they have to be, money, women, whatever, and they still feel empty inside. They don't feel fulfilled. So it's about fulfillment comes from the inside. Nothing on the outside is going to make you feel fulfilled.
Thank you for coming on here, man. We're going to have to do this again sometime, or keep talking and keep making up, man. Alrighty, man. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Take care.